The title might sound like a children's book, but the new novel by New York Times bestselling author Hallie Ephron is anything but. Night Night, Sleep Tight uncovers the journey of a daughter who finds her father dead in his swimming pool, set in the 80s in Beverly Hills. Hallie Ephron joins us back here on CT Style. Nice to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here, thanks.
So Hallie, without giving us away too much of the story, give us the rundown if you would.
Well, it opens with, as many Hollywood stories do, a dead body in a swimming pool.
Okay.
And that might sound a little bit familiar. I hope it does. And the daughter of the dead body is coming home to help her dad sell his house. She doesn't feel comfortable in Beverly Hills, but she's going back to help him. So I'm able to write that kind of outsider coming back home where she doesn't really feel at home anymore.
And she uncovers a whole new storyline?
Her father is there, and all of a sudden at the door is a woman that she went to high school with, whom she hasn't seen in 20 years, since a terrible night 20 years ago, and that's the realtor who's supposed to be selling the house.
Interesting twist there. So in the book, the daughter, well, you're the daughter of two screenwriters.
I am.
And so is the character in the book. So is it autobiographical?
Well, I did not find my father lying dead in the swimming pool, fortunately. He lived well into his 80s and died normally. But I am that girl who left Beverly Hills. I am the girl who didn't feel comfortable with all the money and the blondes and the glamour and the fame, and I came to the East Coast. The character in the book goes to San Diego, which isn't all that far. But yeah, I felt like that character. That was me.
Well, I was going to ask you, because it was set in the 60s and then again in the 80s in Beverly Hills. Is that the time you spent there?
It is. I grew up, I was born in I can say that, right? I can say that, 1948. And so I grew up in the 50s. I was in high school in the 60s, and then I moved away. So I have this frozen memory of what it was like, and I have a very visual memory. So I've been back, but not enough to erase or limit the memory of that place.
But enough to share.
Enough
right?
to share, and enough to still have the feelings, because it's not really autobiographical, but emotionally it is.
Now, Hallie, the ending is surprising. Did you know the ending prior to writing the rest of the book?
I should have, but I didn't. No, I didn't know who did it either. There's two murders in the book, one in the present, in the 80s, and one in the 60s, and I did not know who did. I thought I knew, but I was wrong, actually.
It changed while you were writing?
It changes under you. It changes several times, for me anyway. And I always feel if I'm surprised, then the reader will be surprised. I mean, then I have to go back and pat things up and make it all work, but yeah, I was surprised.
That's so interesting. I would think that you kind of had a blueprint, but it
I thought I had a blueprint.
You did.
Yeah, I need to write an outline. It's almost like training wheels to get on the bike. But then where the bike goes, well, that's always a surprise.
And how long does it typically take you to complete a novel?
Typically, when I was writing a series, it would take a year. These books that I'm writing now, they're standalones. They start with new characters, new places, new time periods. 2 years. I hate to say it. So my book was due in April one year, and I actually turned it in April the next year.
It's a labor of love,
yeah,
right?
Fortunately, my publisher liked it enough to not hold it over me.
Very good. So what's next for you? Is there another novel already in the works?
There is. I've started something, and I'm in that floundering around phase where I've outlined it, but I don't like the outline, so I'm revising it. And it's. I always say the only way to write is to hold your nose and write, and then look at what you've got and see if you can make it smell a little less.
Clean it up a little.
Yeah.
Hallie, you have some signed copies available for viewers, right?
I do. I've been at Bank Square in Mystic, and I've been at R.J. Julia and Left Behind signed books. Thank you.
And the book is available online as well?
Everywhere, and Barnes and, every bookstore. It should have it. It's just out 2 weeks now.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
Best of luck to you.